Hi, welcome to Music Alive North Shore, your in-home live concert TV show. I'm your host, Paul Norman. For those of you who've seen the show before, you know that we bring some of the finest musicians in the north of Boston area right into your home for a live concert experience. Today, we're featuring Lee and Dr. G, and we had to go all the way to Concord, New Hampshire to get these guys in here, and they're going to put on a great show. They're known for their stunningly live, guitar-driven rock and roll that grips you. So without further ado, here is Lee and Dr. G.
And what a lovely day it is. In the words of the late Ozzy, rest in peace, let the madness begin.
Riding to the city with the top down and hanging out the window, making like airplanes in the wind. As we come up on the corner, take a look around. I can see and I give a friendly wave. Eyes on the ground, whatever I do, take a look around. Wherever I go, eyes on the ground, I take a look around me. That's one of the things she saw me. Walking down a main street with the swagger in my step, I see even through the crowd, but I keep my eyes straight ahead. As I come up to the corner, just the traffic go by, I can see between the moving cars. There she is across the street. Wherever I go, eyes on the ground. Whatever I do, take a look around. Wherever I go, eyes on the ground. I take a look around me. That's one of the things she saw me.
myself last evening in the deepest of slumbers. And I was out in that old psychedelic bucket we know as the Pacific. And listen here, man, there were 2 boats. And I was swimming back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it occurred to me in the midst of that epic exercise that there just might be great white sharks waiting to nibble on my toes. And amid a wave of panic and trepidation, the conviction arose within me that what was to be was what was going to be. And I would move through swift waters without fear, certain of the coming day, knowing that it was gonna be all right.
That's going to remain anonymous.
Why are you holding back on the people, Lee? Why won't you invite
It's too incriminating.
Why is it That is the tone of romance. Take me to the methane clouds of Titan.
I don't need another bit of wisdom. I don't want to hear your sympathy. We've been down this road already more than a time or two. I can tell you I don't see it that way. You took me down the path of fear and darkness. I listened to you those times. I don't wanna go and repeat those same mistakes. of sorrows. I don't want to hear your sympathy. We've been down this road already, more than a eternity. I can tell you I ain't gonna go your way.
Hi, I'm Paul Norman. I'm on the set with Lee and Dr. G, where we just heard a great performance of Not Going Your Way. This band, as I said, hails from Concord, New Hampshire, and although they sound like they've been playing together for years, they're relatively new. In fact, some of the players have only joined the band yesterday morning. But I'd like to talk about how the core elements of the band were formed. So, Lee, do you want to tell us a little bit about how you teamed up with Dr. G and created this band?
Yeah, it's an interesting story, actually. So I've been playing music a long time. I started out in Colorado, lived there for, I don't know, long time playing jazz, funk, reggae, blues, R&B, all that kind of stuff. Went to Nashville, did a bunch of work there, country, jazz, more funk, more everything, recording. Moved up here. I kind of retired from music for a while. And then, you know, it's one of those things, music doesn't quit you. You can try to quit it, but it doesn't quit you. So I'm hanging out, still got the music bug. I've been playing in a group, and I was looking for something original. I've been writing songs, and so I kind of scanned through the listings of players, and I stumbled on this one for, it turned out to be Dr. G.
Craigslist.
Yeah, it was the infamous Craigslist. So we connected on communication there, and we had a mutual interest in playing music that touches your soul. You know?
What happened in that basement when you guys first got together and you had to come up with some songs? Because we heard we're hearing a great original song in the last set.
What happened in the basement? I mean, I could see Lee can play. You know, there's a lot of good bands out there. There's a ton of guitarists, right? But the person who you're most going to align with, you need to start jamming on a riff, and then the other person just takes right to it. You can't force that. That's not fake. It's just, it is what it is. And my first thought, listen to Lee, I was like, he can play. He can really play. And there's also a musical IQ factor, right? Where like we go to the same thing at the same time. It's a vibe. It's a feeling. And also, I think it's a degree of acceptance. We're very different players, but it just meshed really well.
Yeah, despite our different backgrounds, different playing styles, we like he was saying, we find this common element in these songs, and like where we want to go and take the music in it.
And now 6,421 hours later in a car driving across New Hampshire and Massachusetts together, we've had lots of time to talk about music and break down what we're doing. But writing songs, man, we just get together and jam, and it's got to click.
Yep, and it is clicking, like we heard. So I'm excited to hear what you have for us next. So let's go to the next song.
This song's about a run-in with law enforcement.
Tore out of there fast, said I really done it this time. A handful of deputies hard on my path, gotta build some distance between us and them. Looking to the rear view, this is not a good view, staring down the trouble we're in. We just got out of jail and we ain't going back then, no, no. Breaking every law might be our only way out. Cloud of smoke behind us, engines running hot, might be out of fuel or no. Yeah, looking to the rear view, no, it's not a good view, staring down more trouble we're in. Yeah, we're running out of luck, and we're running out of road. Oh, oh. my back, twisted all along my spine. Here come the handcuffs, ratcheted quite tight. Didn't get too far this time. Yeah, even from this view, I can see the rear view, reflecting on the trouble we're in. Yeah, we going back to jail. There's no running from trouble, no, no.
That last song that we just heard is going to be on the debut LP that Lee and Dr. G are putting the finishing touches on, and it's scheduled to come out in December. As we said before, Lee and Dr. G have not been around forever, but they've written enough original material that all the songs that we've heard thus far, you're going to be able to hear on the LP when you go out and get the vinyl or the CD version. And the first time that you record a LP or CD, I can't imagine how challenging it is and how different it is than what your expectation is. I'd love to hear from you guys a little bit about how this new debut CD LP has been created and has come to life.
Well, it's a unique experience in the sense that how do you recreate in a recording studio the energy of a live show?
Yeah.
Because I think the defining element of the band is this notion of quote-unquote stunningly live, a raucous rock show. But we went into Rockingmore Studios and worked with Brian Coombs in Pittsfield, just a first-class place. But the other side of that is we had limited resources. So you're in a first-class place, but here's the deal. You got like 4 days to get your album done. It was a spectacular experience. Super grateful to get to do it. The goal wasn't the mixing. This just like, how do you recreate the live experience? So we were just like, I think the guitars could come up just a little bit more in the mix.
Okay. So how are your fans going to be able to buy this great LP?
It'll be streaming on streaming services, and they'll be able to buy the vinyl record. It'll be at Pitchfork Records and record stores around New England, and they'll also be able to order it off our website, www.leedrg.co. Yeah, it's weird.
Drop that M.
It was cheaper. It's just,
hey,
there you go.
Every letter.
Everything to the recording studio. Yeah.
All right, great. Well, let's hear another song off the LP.
Well, this next song, you know it is called Baby Wants Me Gone, and it's about tumultuous events in a relationship.
Tumultuous? What happened, Doc?
Why does she want me gone?
Doc. Don't tell me.
Well,
Something down.
hold on. We'll skip that bit, and you just tell me, is she going to take me back?
That's a tough call.
Well, that's really uncool of you, flat out. The answer is yes.
Knowing your woman,
Well,
she'd probably give you a
You've already
chance.
hurt my feelings. Let's do this tune. Nate won't accept me.
Go to track 15, I'll take this train far, far out of town. Leaving tonight, 'cause my baby don't want me around. She told me that she loves me, but somehow I've let her down. Don't leave south trying to turn this love train around. Get a little sun, maybe live in a smaller town. Hiding out for a while, 'cause my baby don't want me around. No, she don't. Heading out west to Wyoming, maybe stop the Lowville. Of course I could go to Montana, Big Sky, Kalispell. Baby wants me gone, yeah, she told me to go straight to hey.
Wow, that last song was a killer. I really loved it. You guys who are watching the show have to get out to hear Lee and Dr. G live. Tell us where the fans can find out where you're playing this weekend, next weekend, or any weekend coming up that they want to hear some great live music.
Well, go to www.leedrg.co, www.leedrg.co, and you can find a list of our dates coming up. I think a few shows that we'd love to plug. We'll be playing the Middle East in Cambridge in November. That's going to be a really big show. That's just right on the eve of the album release. And then in December, we'll be having our album release show. That's at the Bank of New Hampshire stage in Concord. That's going to be
great.
a really big one, headlining there.
That's awesome.
And then back in the neck of the woods of Boston in January, which is a ways away, but we'll be playing the Cantab Lounge for a headlining show there. But then a bunch of other shows before that, but primarily in southern New Hampshire. We'd love to see you. I think what's going to happen when you come out is I hope they'll be struck by the fever.
I'm sure they will. I mean, I want to hear about the stunning new live performance that they're going to experience.
I think we both want to go head-to-head with fans in the audience and get into it together because it's almost a spiritual reckoning, if you will, Dionysian in the sense that it's a celebration of everything right with the world, and it's in defiance of everything wrong with the world. And that's for each person to decide how they feel on that and what that means to them. But it's a place to completely experience in the flesh art and to get a little crazy with us.
Well, that sounds fantastic. I don't know of any other chance to hear a live band and have that emotional and spiritual experience. And so I want to know, what's it like, guys, playing with these guys and having this happen like every time you pick up your instrument?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well,
To be quite honest with you, tomorrow is my first show with these guys. Just started playing with them. I'm in another band, and we played a show together. 6 months ago or whatever it was, so I saw them live. I know how they play, so when Lee reached out to me about filling in and playing some bass, I'd already heard them, and they were so stunningly live, I couldn't say no.
all right, so we're going to hear one more of those songs, and I want you to focus on the religious experience that you're all about to have.
Focus.
How lovely it is to be here with you, internet citizens of the world. We are Lee and Dr. G. We're from Concord, New Hampshire. To my right here on the bass, I have Nate. On the drums back here, we have Mark. On the keys, bringing the heat, we have Chris. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you Lee Durham.
Lee Durham. And we can't forget the one and only Dr. G on the guitar and vocals.
This next song is the title track of our new album coming out here in December. It's called Girl for Me. I found myself in northwest Louisiana, my sweat drowning the air under an oak tree. I spied across the lawn my beloved, all buxom, clad in a red dress, sticking to her skin. And I hollered out, "Hey, lover, you think you could bring me a glass of water?" She smiled, all teeth. She moved at a running pace towards the home, emerging minutes later with a red solo cup piled real high with ice. Gave it to me like it was a special present. took a greedy gulp, and I looked at her and smiled and said, God damn it, woman, I asked you for water and you brought me gasoline. Turned my need for cool relief into something obscene. I asked you for satiation and you brought me a flame machine. You are without a doubt the most troubled woman I ever seen. You hear those church bells tolling, Lee? They're tolling for me, brother. Here comes the hearse. Lover, I said, hey, can we try that again? You think you could bring me a cold beer? She moved at an even faster pace towards the home. Her stride, swift as ever, emerged moments later with a frosty beer mug and a suspiciously clear liquid. Slide of her ways, I dipped my pinky in and took a taste. Burn and salvation. Oh yeah. So I said, honey pie, are you trying to kill me? She grinned and said, I wouldn't do that. I love you. So I said, okay, honey, come on now, come on. Come lay your head on my chest. And we stared into each other, nose to nose, lips wet with poison. And I told her with all my heart, you are the girl for me. Ask yourself whether or not it's a true story.
Take a ride, get out of town, to the country for a little while. See what's happening on the other side of the ridge line. The ground is cracked, the river's dry, empty fields, no sign of life. Dark clouds roll across the sky at noontime. Ain't never seen this before. Ooh, something just ain't right. Something just ain't right. Something just ain't right. turn around, head back towards town. Skip the highway, take the back roads. Getting closer now, we can see the skyline. The sky turns dark, it's black and green. Across the road there's a tumbleweed. We've never seen the sky look the way it does this time. We ain't never seen this before. Something just ain't right. Something just ain't right. Something just ain't right. Yeah, yeah. Never seen this before. Something just ain't right. We ain't never seen this before. Something just ain't right. Something just ain't right. Just ain't right. Something 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 just ain't right.
Hi, this is Paul Norman back on the set with Lee and Dr. G. Let me tell you a little bit about how I learned about this band. I went onto YouTube, just like everybody else, and I saw their songs, I saw their videos. I said, wow, this band is different. You've already heard about some of the ways that they're different, but let me just tell you how their videos are different. It's an artistic masterpiece. Not only are we dealing with the great musical expressions, but they blend some really unique artistic elements into into many of the videos that you see on YouTube. So we're going to take a minute and show you a clip from Not Going Your Way. And she saw me, and we're going to come back and talk with Lee and Dr. G about how they came up with this idea. So without further ado, let's go to that clip.
Certain of the coming triumph that was gonna make us all happy, because it occurred to me that we're all already free.
So you know what I mean when you saw those videos? They were very unique and very special, and I think the artistic composition adds so much to the experience. I don't know how these guys came up with this idea, but I'd like to hear a little bit about who came up with the idea, how this has all come to be, and how what the fan experience is.
Well, I really appreciate your kind comments. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
that. So, for me, growing up, I was a huge Nine Inch Nails fan, right, which is a different musical genre than this. But when Trent Reznor would play in the Downward Spiral tour, like 1994, 1995, he would put a silk screen in front of the band. And they would project images, like huge images in front of the bands they were playing that would become part of the musical experience. So that's been an inspiration in terms of trying to craft videos that have an artistic element. When we played live, for instance, like at the Bank of New Hampshire stage in September of 2024, and there's a huge screen having big visuals behind, right, that are creating a far-reaching experience beyond just the ears, but it's affecting the eyes as well. We were able to do that at the press room in Portsmouth, which was super cool. And so I've worked hard to create these videos, but the reality is everything in this band's a collaboration. I've never been in a band or a musical situation like that's this much of a partnership. So everything that I do, I work on, then I talk to Lee about. Lee gives his input. I mean, that's probably my favorite thing about the band, having such an honest, genuine partnership between friends, trying to make things as good as possible.
Not only high quality, but we want everything from start to finish, whether it's a live show, the promo materials, the videos, we want it to be visually interesting as well as sound good, as sounds, vision, the whole bit. So we take raw footage, add some things to it, change it up a little bit, and try to get something that hopefully strikes a tune with somebody.
Well, it's very unique. It's something that I think is quite memorable, and I think in some respects, in addition to being stunningly live, it helps define you guys as who you are and what you're contributing to the musical experience. So thanks so much for being so creative and sharing that with us tonight.
Happy to be here.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you for having us.
So in closing, I just want to say that I hope you enjoyed this show as much as I did. I've been very fortunate to have been able to bring to you some of the best musicians on the North Shore. And as I said, we expanded our reach up to Concord tonight. But the important thing is these bands and the musical venues that support these bands need your help and support. Get out, hear some live music, keep this great genre alive in our backyard, and we'll be bringing you more of this great entertainment on future Music Alive North Shore shows. Thanks very much.
All right.
Oh, to track 15, I'll take this train far, far out of town. Leaving tonight, 'cause my baby don't want me around. She told me that she loves me, but somehow I've let her down. Don't leave south, trying to turn this love train around. Get a little sun, maybe live in a smaller town. Hiding out for a while, 'cause my baby